Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show, FYI, for your investments. Today, I have with me a very special friend and a full time independent trader, Vishal Mehta. Vishal is a CMT from USA, co chair of the India chapter, and a global director of the CMT Association. He started his journey as a trader, being a discretionary trader, and slowly moved to systematic strategies. Vishal has worked with all the financial service providers in India, to the likes of Bloomberg, Thomson Reuters, Spider, Reliable, and Financial Technologies. Vishal has also achieved a unique feat of training technical analysts to major central banks in South Asia, countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal, India, and China. He is featured on Money Control, Face to Face, on eLearn Markets. He's done various seminars on education and technical analysis. He's achieved positive months of profitability with a broker. Vishal, 8 positive months. That is a lot for a trader to achieve. Let's
That is
start the conversation by telling me how do you manage to achieve 8 positive months of positive money?
Thanks a lot, Nainesh. I think so. जैसे मैंने बताया कि when I started out my journey, I was a discretionary trader. I'm a very good analyst, but when it comes to trading, the emotions sometimes rules over. The systematic trading, and especially, I built a lot of option strategies which are all automated. And what happens is when I have automated them, the emotion comes out, and I only trade high probability setups when there are opportunity for me to make money. So especially is on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we do an overnight option, but with complete hedging. So the risk management and using the high probability setup, that was the consistency I was able to achieve. So that's a unique journey that I'm trying to do it again to break that kind of record and make it in a 12 months in a row. Let's hope for the best.
Vishal, you've been taking positional strategies. I mean, the toughest point as a trader today is to make money intraday. And intraday, like you know, is the most famous for everyone. Everyone wants to make money today itself. And that's why we go for intraday. Today, you're going to talk to us about how you make money out of intraday trading, a strategy that you follow yourself, a strategy that you believe that in intraday, you can make money out of mean reversions. First, before we start, where you explain to us what this strategy is, tell me a bit about the background. Intraday trading, is it safe for newcomers in the market? Second, if it is, what should you follow?
Good questions, Nainesh. I think so. The first point that you mentioned, is it safe? When it comes to the stock market, nothing is safe. Okay, if somebody says that doing option buying is safe, doing option selling is safe, buying a stock is safe, the answer, if somebody say, then he's lying. What I mean by that is there is always a risk involved in what you do, and when you jump in, the first thing that you should be aware about, what is the risk that I'm getting into. And when you know the risk, you can manage the risk. The problem with a lot of people is they say share market satta hai. Okay, but the problem is they haven't traded themselves. So unke liye wo outsider hai, and for the people like us, it's our bread and butter, because we understand what is the risk and how do we manage the risk. So that's the most important thing कि आपको एक समझना है कि रिस्क तो रहेगा, लेकिन रिस्क को मैनेज कैसे करना है थ्रू योर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, लाइक योर स्टॉप लॉसेस, पोर्टफोलियो लेवल स्टॉप लॉसेस, और वही टॉपिक पे हम लोग आज डिटेल में बात करेंगे. एंड सेकेंडली आपने बताया था व्हाट वाज द पॉइंट सेकेंड.
No, I was asking you, one is it safe? So you gave me the answer, nothing is safe. But when you plan your trades, ideally you should understand the kind of risk that you're taking as an intraday trader. The one question, which all of us and our audience will also have is, can intraday be done by people who are starting off as traders? So newbies coming to the market, should you do an intraday strategy?
See, it's like this. Okay, I'll be very honest, Nainesh. If you put, it's like playing a 2020 and playing a test cricket. So if a certain person comes in and if he has been throughout his life has been playing a gully cricket, maybe he will do very well with T20 because that's the mindset that you carry with. बट अगर कोई नया बंदा आता है, ऑल ऑफ अ सडन अभी वो टेक्निकल सीख रहा है, अभी ही इज जस्ट लर्निंग अबाउट ट्रेडिंग, intraday can be a bit trickier, but I think so that's a good beginning to keep your mind sharp. और एक बार आपने अगर जर्नी स्टार्ट कर दी and if you follow it consistently, yes, even the beginners can learn to do intraday strategy. But मेरा खाली एक ही पॉइंट है कि यहाँ पे you have to be more systematic than discretionary, for the simple reason कि अगर आप discretionary intraday trading करते हो, I have known brilliant discretionary kind of intraday traders who makes big amount of money, but that's not what I am. I realized over a period of time that my style is more systematic, and then I need to stick to my skin, right? I need to stick to my game. और उसी के अंदर मैं धीरे 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 मैंने रूल्स कोड किए, मैंने अपने एल्गो कोड किए और लेट द कंप्यूटर डू ऑल द हार्ड वर्क फॉर मी. So that is a great journey for me so far. So yes, to answer your question, yes, beginners can do, but don't even assume for a slightest idea that it will be very easy. It is going to be difficult. Even if you make a lot of money, वो जब भी इंटरडे में बहुत ज्यादा पैसा भी आ जाता है तो वो भी ऑल्सो डिफिकल्ट है, रात को नींद नहीं आती है कि ये शायद पैसा चला ना जाए. सो दैट्स हाउ इट इज.
I agree. So, Vishal, one question. We've had lots of conversation with you, and you are out in the open where you say that the last 5 years of your career have been the most profitable. The previous 15 years, you were kind of building what you wanted for the 5 years. Let me ask you a question on this. What was it that you learned in your previous 15 years, which has now changed, and it has become a profitable journey for you?
I think so. There are few points that really clearly stands out. First was system hopping, नैनेश. मतलब मैं आज कुछ नया सीख रहा था, मैं जाके एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहा था, वहां पे पैसा नहीं बना तो किसी और गुरु या कोई और बुक या कोई और एक स्ट्रेटेजी यूट्यूब देख लिया एंड जंप टू इट. फिर वहां पे थोड़ा पैसा बनने के बाद खुश हो गया, कैपिटल बढ़ाया, लॉस हो गया, एंड देन अगेन वो जब भी ड्रॉडाउन में चला गया तो मूव टू समथिंग एल्स एंड नेवर स्टक to one thing for a longer period of time to really see the benefit of it. So it was one thing that really stands out for me in my last 5 years of career, that I stick to my system even in a drawdown. If I've backtested it, if I've traded it for a while, it gets comfortable with me, then I keep on trading it even if the losses are there because it's a part of the system. और ये मैं एग्जांपल हर जगह लेता हूँ कि taking a losses is like breathing out. You can't always breathe in, you can't always have profits, but हम लोग की मेंटालिटी ट्रेडर्स की क्या हो जाती है कि हर रोज प्रॉफिट आना चाहिए. हर रोज प्रॉफिट आते सांस अंदर ही लेते रहोगे तो एक बार मर जाएंगे. You have to breathe out to breathe in again. And that's, I think, a famous quote by Tom Basso that I read it on Market Wizard book and just dawned on me. So that was one thing. Secondly, the risk management. बहुत सारे ट्रेडर्स मार्केट में आते हैं, मतलब 15 साल में मेरा कैपिटल थोड़ा छोटा हुआ करता था, तो आई यूज्ड टू ट्रेड, मेक लॉसेस एंड गो बैक टू मेक मनी, okay, in the other forms. And mere good colleague Madan, he keeps on telling this very famous statement: this is called capital market for a reason. Capital market, क्योंकि बहुत कम लोग, मतलब अपने पास वॉर स्टोरीज बहुत होती है सुनने के लिए कि कोई 1 लाख लेके आया था 1 करोड़ बना लिया, पर वो 1,000 या 10,000 या 1 लाख में एक होगा. And we believe we will be one of them, and maybe you will be one of them. That's it's a great thing, but the probability of you doing or getting that 1%, becoming that 1% is thoda difficult. So if you have a little higher capital, then there is still a probability for you to, जब भी drawdown हुआ तो सिस्टम को कंट्रोल में रखना है या सिस्टम ट्रेड करना है, सिस्टम हॉपिंग नहीं करनी, और 2-3 स्ट्रेटेजीज में डाइवर्सिफाई किया तो साइकोलॉजी बैलेंस हो जाती है. So these are the 2 important things, and the third one, the psychology. Like I have started living with the drawdowns because most of the traders always talk about profits. I always talk about the risk. क्योंकि जिस दिन हम लोग drawdown से जीने के साथ सीख लिया, I will give you an example. April of this year was a drawdown month for us, but we did not change our system. We stick to our system. We believed in the system, and the May month was out of the proportion. जो April में 4% down था, we covered that and made it even 4% more. So that's how you stick to your system, and that helps.
Vishal, talking about drawdowns, I mean, you are right that you should not ideally change your system. Stick to your roots, and you'll definitely do good. One question I have as a trader, and a problem that I normally face. I mean, you will be able to help me with this. How do you emotionally handle drawdowns? That is something which I think a large part of our community has not learned. Emotionally handling drawdowns, when you have bad times, what do you do that makes you feel like, hey, I want to go to the market the next day?
Awesome. I think so. Everyone has a different way of dealing their drawdowns. Okay. And that's where I keep on reading a lot of good books. Okay. Market Wizard. And वहाँ पे एक recently, about a year back, it just, kind of did bulb kind of moment, we call it, right? जैसे bulb होता है, and then we say, कि हाँ भाई, this is what I am supposed to do. So interestingly, वो एक book में उन्होंने एक trader को interview किया. मतलब there are two traders. Okay. One trader, when he's in a drawdown, he doubles up his work speed. मतलब वो शाम को 6, मतलब 3 बजे 4 बजे उनका जब भी यूएस मार्केट खत्म होता था, रात को 11 12 1 बजे तक स्टडी करता था व्हाट वेंट रॉन्ग एंड हाउ ही कैन डू बेटर. एंड उसका ही जो मेंटर था, जिससे उसने सीखा था, उसका मेंटर जैसे ही मार्केट खत्म होता है, इज इन अ ड्रॉडाउन, ही विल गो आउट एंड पार्टी विथ हिज फ्रेंड्स. Okay, so there are two types of different way of handling the drawdown, and somewhere I started relating to the mentor guy, like क्योंकि मुझे मेरी सिस्टम चेंज नहीं करनी है. तो मेरा सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पीरियड है कि जब भी ड्रॉडाउन में अगर मैं सिस्टम के सामने बैठा होगा, तो आई विल बी कीप ऑन थिंकिंग अबाउट व्हाट शुड आई डू नेक्स्ट टू मेक मनी बैक. और वही सिचुएशन में आई विल स्टार्ट इंटरफियरिंग विद द सिस्टम. इट्स लाइक दिस. ओके, लेट मी गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. आप कसिनो में जाते हो, ठीक है. कसिनो में अगर कसिनो ओनर है और कसिनो जाने वाला बंदा है जो एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए जा रहा है, अगर कसिनो जाने वाला जो खेलने वाले हम जैसे पब्लिक अगर पैसा बनाने लगते हैं, तो कसिनो ओनर बीच में आके रूल्स चेंज नहीं कर देता, राइट. ही
I
नोज
agree.
कि इफ द कसिनो इज रनिंग 24/7 and there are probabilities kind of in his favor, eventually he'll make money. So वो एक माइंडसेट अपने माइंड में बिठाना है कि हाँ भाई, कि हम लोग को थोड़ी बार ट्रेड करना है, हाँ कैसे हैंडल करना है. हर एक की अपनी अपनी स्टाइल होनी चाहिए. जैसे मैंने बताया, एक डबल अप कर देता है, एक जरा भी नहीं करता. वो बोलता है कि इट इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू स्टे विथ माय फैमिली फ्रेंड्स. एंड ही सेड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग कि अगर ये खराब टाइम में एंड आई एम एबल टू स्पेंड द सेम अमाउंट ऑफ मनी which I was doing when I was making money, that
Yeah.
means I'm not related to trading. My personal life is different, my trading life is different. So this is how this is how I handled. I go out and party actually.
So every time that I see you parting, I should understand that there is a drawdown behind it, and that's why you're up there.
You will definitely see it on my face. I will be smiling even more.
Vishal, you mentioned about casino. You mentioned about people like you and me going and playing. Maybe one of guys will win it. The balance 30 or 40, 50. How many other people come will definitely lose bets. Let's talk about the one-off guy that makes money out of the casino. I mean, this person, is the outlier. The same way, I would not say intraday trading is a casino, but I would say intraday trading requires you to kind of have a system in place, your discipline, a strict stop loss, strict target. Before wasting much time, I would want to learn from you, what is it, which is the system that you make money out of in intraday.
Sure. So I'm people know me that whatever I did, I keep on putting it out.
Yeah.
And obviously the idea is not to give you a system. सबसे important चीज I really wanted to highlight that आप किसी की system लेके पैसा नहीं बना सकते. क्योंकि you can get a system, you can borrow a system, but you cannot borrow conviction. See, this is the most important thing. Why you should learn this system is to get a concepts. कि कौन से कॉन्सेप्ट्स पे ये सिस्टम बनी हुई है, और वो सिस्टम को लेके हाउ आई कैन मॉडिफाई टू माय स्टाइल and then build a system around it. I have given immense, like I'll give you immense number of examples.
Yeah.
जहाँ पे मैंने बहुत सारी स्ट्रेटेजी डिस्यूज की, मैंने बताया जो मैं अब खुद ट्रेड करता हूँ. सरप्राइजिंगली कई बार वी आर इन अ ड्रॉडाउन and the clients are saying we are making money out of it, and I was like, how did you make money out of it? And he said, sir, we modified it to our comfort. And I think so that's the most important lesson that I wanted to let you know. क्योंकि जितने भी बड़े ट्रेडर है वो अपनी सिस्टम लेके ही बने, लेकिन उनके बेस कहीं और से ही बने थे.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is what I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yeah.
So I'll share my PPT. Can you see the PPT?
Yeah. I
Nainesh?
can. I can.
You can. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So intraday trading strategy for beginners. This is one of my first strategy that I started my journey as a systematic trader, and until date, it continues to be one of my favorite strategies. Okay.
Wow. I'm
So
very excited to learn.
So intraday trading strategy दो type की कर सकते हो आप. Okay, there are many other variations, but if I wanted to put it in a broader timeline, क्योंकि ये दो strategy कौन सी हो सकती है. एक ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग हो सकती है, जैसे कि कोई स्टॉक बढ़ रहा है इंट्राडे में तो वो बढ़ते ही जाए. लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ बजाज ट्विंस यस्टरडे, राइट?
Yeah.
Just went up, gapped up above previous day's highs, just kept on going up. Let's take an example of SBI Life. Let's take an example of TVS Motor today. आज
Yeah.
gap up हुए and just kept on going up. That's a trend following strategy. Then there is another variation which is a mean diversion trading strategy. Now what is a mean diversion trading strategy? जब भी कुछ मार्केट बहुत नीचे घुस गया हो, now you are trying to play it on the upside. या
Yeah.
कोई स्टॉक बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया हो, now you are trying to play it on the short side. So basically एक बोल रहा है आप go with the trend,
Yeah.
दूसरी स्ट्रेटेजी बोल रही है go against the trend. Okay, so these are the two variations of it. So a question would come to your mind कि
Yeah.
विशाल दोनों में से बेटर स्ट्रेटेजी कौन सी है? What do you think, Nainesh? Let me ask you a question. Which one is better, trend
Uh,
following or
if
mean diversion?
if you ask me, I would say trend following because I
Okay,
am a trend follower. So
so that's an important point that you put it out, Nainesh, कि you are a trend follower. मुझे वो 15 साल में पता ही नहीं चला था मैं क्या हूँ, क्योंकि I was trying everything and could not figure out what kind of a trader I am. Although I started out as a trend follower, then I added mean diversion trading strategy, and धीरे 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 मेरी एक style बनने लगी. That
okay.
is very important for you to also figure out what kind of a trader are you. Are you a
Okay.
trend following? Are you a mean diversion player? Now, let's take an example. There is a famous saying in the market. What is the famous saying, Nainesh, for the trend? I want to ask you. Let's ask the
Trend.
audience. What
Yeah.
is
I mean,
the
let's ask the audience before I give an answer.
what
What
is
is
the
the
famous
famous
quote about
saying
that?
about trends?
Chalo, let me give you a small hint. Trend is your
Trend till it bends.
until it bends, right?
Yeah.
And then the minute it bends, that's where the mean reversion comes into the play.
Got
Okay.
it.
So that's what you can have trend following, you can have mean reversion as part of your bouquet of your strategies as well. Okay. So I'm going to talk about one of the other ones, which is mean reversion. So mean reversion की philosophy क्या होती है? Philosophy is very simple. The market moves away, trend में चलता है, from its equilibrium. अगर एक लाइन ड्रॉ करोगे तो प्राइस वो लाइन पे ही नहीं चलता रहेगा. इट विल गो अप टू अ
Right.
एक्सटेंट, then it
Right.
will not go up, but it will start coming down,
Okay.
and in that process it will even cross the equilibrium and goes down, but after a point it will stop falling down and then again come up in that equilibrium. Now
Okay.
what is happening as a mean reversion trader, when the market is too high or when the market is too low, you are going to put up a mean reversion trade.
Okay.
If you are a trend follower, you may get stopped out in this
Right.
journey. But if you are a mean diversion, you are trying to pick a bottom or sell a top. Although it is a very difficult, trust me, guys, it's not going to be easy. If somebody says it is going to be easy, then he is lying. Okay. So, this we have understood what is a mean diversion. So, prices will not deviate for too long from the mean and it reverts back to the mean. मतलब अगर कोई मैं लेता हूं तो बहुत नीचे चला गया तो there is a very high possibility that the prices will bounce back sharply and go up. And similarly, when the prices are too high, sharply it will fall down. So if this is the phenomena of the market, and these are also called as the first principles of trading. कि market will always trend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first principle also tells you the market will also mean the what. And third, the market is going to remain volatile. Okay. So now if you combine your strategies on these three फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ ट्रेडिंग के मार्केट विल ट्रेंड तो आपने एक ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग स्ट्रेटेजी ले ली मार्केट विल रिमेन मीन रिवर्ट मार्केट विल मीन रिवर्ट तो आपने एक मीन रिवर्जन स्ट्रेटेजी कर ली मार्केट विल रिमेन वॉलेटाइल in terms of not the direction the sideways market if you
Yeah.
build a strategy on top of these first three principles there is a very high chance you have a very nice equity curve ठीक है and this is my favorite quote and that's the basic foundation on which we build our intraday trading strategies. Markets are trend following in the long term and mean reverting in the short term.
Okay.
Because this is one of the principles that we studied and we have imbibed in us. It may be right, it may be wrong. You know, there are always people say कि this is not right, this is not wrong. Always remember that कि जो पैसा बनाता है वही राइट है और जब भी तोड़ता है तो सब लोग उसको ज्ञान देने आ जाते हैं कि सी वी टोल्ड यू इट वाज रॉन्ग इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट हर एक की एक अपनी एक फिलोसॉफी होती है एंड एवरीबडी लिव एंड डाई बाय दैट फिलोसॉफी सो यू हैव टू बिल्ड योर ओन फिलोसॉफी मेरी फिलोसॉफी तो यही है सिंपल सी markets are trend following in the long term and mean reverting in the short term so why you should do mean reversion trading system मैं इतना क्यों mean reversion पे इतना emphasis दे रहा हूँ let's see it lasts for few hours to few days okay मतलब आप अगर इंट्राडे कर रहे हो तो कुछ ही घंटों में आप जल्दी से निकल जाओगे
Okay.
अगर आप एक स्विंग ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हो तो 3 4 5 दिन में आपका स्विंग ट्रेडिंग खत्म हो जाएगा
Okay.
what is more comfortable for all of us Nainesh, you are an exception where you said you are a trend follower because trend followers buy high and sell higher लेकिन अपनी जो जर्नी है अपने अपने को बचपन से सिखाया गया है अगर कोई आप बार्गेनिंग करने जाते हो तो 100 रुपया बोलता है तो आप सीधा 50 से चालू करो ठीक है एंड देन यू नो स्लोली यू नो गेट इट अप टू 60 70 और कहीं ना कहीं वो मीन रिवर्जन हो जाएगा
I
so
agree.
we are always comfortable buying low and selling high and that's our nature
Yeah.
second nature that we are so attuned to it is high win to loss ratio मतलब हम लोग ने हमेशा बताया था कि we as a trader want are looking for instant gratification
Yeah.
what do I mean by instant gratification कि जैसे ही पैसा बने बुक कर लो जैसे ही पैसा बने बुक कर लो so the number of wins to the number of losses usually a mean reversion trading strategy accuracy lies between 60 to 80% okay
Wow.
but then there is a drawdown or you know drop back also for that I will
Yeah.
discuss क्योंकि विन रेशियो तो बहुत अच्छा होता है 60 to 80% की विन रेट होती है बट एवरेज विन टू एवरेज लॉस देखोगे तो आपके एवरेज लॉस ज्यादा बड़े होते हैं क्योंकि आप प्रॉफिट जल्दी 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 बुक कर रहे हो तो आपकी
Correct.
विनिंग एक्यूरेसी बढ़ती जा रही है लेकिन जो जब भी लॉस होता है तो आप खड़े रहते हो तो आपका जो एवरेज लॉस है वो थोड़ा बड़ा रहेगा
Okay.
बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है जो नए बिगिनर ट्रेडिंग में आते हैं कि दे वांट आर लुकिंग फॉर अ स्मूथ इक्विटी का जे सीधा सीधा हर रोज थोड़ा 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 पैसा बना
Right.
we are comfortable with that and that's what defines by a smooth equity curve
Right.
किसको ये नहीं पसंद है सबको ये पसंद है लो ड्रॉ डाउन पैसे जाने ही नहीं चाहिए ऑल्दो वेरी डिफिकल्ट मार्केट में पैसे जाएंगे लेकिन दिस मीन रिवर्जन ट्रेडिंग स्ट्रेटेजी हैज एन अनकैनी हैबिट ऑफ हैविंग अ लो ड्रॉ डाउन्स
Sure.
और लो कैपिटल डिप्लॉयमेंट से आप चालू कर सकते हो ऑल्दो आई हाईली रिकमेंड दैट यू शुड हैव सफिशिएंट कैपिटल in your trading account to trade this strategy and you can diversify across the various securities
Yeah.
so I'm directly jumping to a system before that let me just ask you a quick question agar tu ek mean reversion trader hota tha where all you think as a mean reversion trader you would have you know kind of made money so Nainesh what do you think
The two bottoms that I can see.
see
Yeah.
I told you that
Yeah.
now these are the two bottoms I plotted an indicator okay I will talk about its significance in some time but can you
Sure.
see whenever it goes below 10 and the market tend to bounce back snap back again prices came back by the way this indicator was kind of made very famous by a very good trader called as Larry Connors and I have been a big fan. And in fact, I've worked and I've spoken to him few times over the call. And in fact, when I was in New York, unfortunately, I could not meet him, but I met his team members, and we discussed about how powerful this two-period RSI concept is. Now, if you see as a swing trader, I want to buy this swing, I want to buy this swing, right? Can you
Yeah.
see where did the RSI drops back? Below 10. आई वांट टू बाय दिस स्विंग, आई वांट टू बाय दिस स्विंग, क्योंकि यहाँ से मैं बाय करूंगा तो मैं यहाँ तक खींच सकता हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं बाय करूंगा तो यहाँ तक बाय कर सकता हूँ, यहाँ पे
Yeah.
मैं बाय करता हूँ तो आई कैन बाय टिल ओवर हियर, व्हेन आई बाय हियर आई कैन प्ले दिस स्विंग, व्हेन आई बाय हियर आई कैन बाय प्ले दिस स्विंग.
Wow.
Again, if you see the accuracy with this two period RSI is immense, and that's what I told you कि इसकी एक्यूरेसी बहुत अच्छी होती है, लेकिन जब भी लॉस होगा तो वो लंबा होगा. सो योर एवरेज प्रॉफिट टू एवरेज लॉस बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है कुछ लोगों के लिए, पर इट्स अ गुड एडिशन टू योर स्ट्रेटेजीज. क्योंकि अगर आपका कोई ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग स्ट्रेटेजी है, क्योंकि वहां पे तो चिपचप बहुत हो जाएगा, क्योंकि
Correct.
यहाँ पे तुमने बाय किया, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जांपल, एज एन ब्रेकआउट हुआ, अज्यूमिंग यू
Yeah.
वेंट लॉन्ग बट द प्राइसेस केम डाउन, सो योर स्टॉप लॉस गॉट ट्रिगर्ड.
Yes.
At that same time, mean diversion got triggered as a buy. Okay, and then
Wow.
it went long. So तेरा जो ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग का सिग्नल जो जहां पे स्टॉप आउट हो गया, उसकी जगह पे तेरा मीन डिवर्जन ने तुझे पैसा दे दिया. So that way your equity curve becomes very smooth.
Vishal,
So
before we go ahead, I mean, just for the viewers, if you can just help us how this RSI is a little different. Can you talk a little bit about the two-period RSI?
sure. So basically हम लोग ने कन्वेंशनल वे में यूज किया अभी तक RSI को. यूजुअली हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि जब भी RSI 30 के नीचे जाती है, so market is oversold, and when the market is above 70, market is an overbought. Now as I told you, that market is a trend following. If you remember that statement that I used, market is a trend following in the long term, but mean reverting in the short term. Yes or no? Remember that?
Yeah.
Now this RSI does not consider 14 days, because we are expecting the market to mean revert in a shorter time frame. That time we are going to put an indicator which is 2 days. मतलब हम लोग लास्ट 2 दिन की RSI ही देख रहे हैं. We are
Okay.
not talking about 14 days, एक हाफ मंथ लूना साइकिल या जो मून साइकिल जो फेमसली वेल्स वाइल्डर ने प्रोपाउंड किया था, और सब सॉफ्टवेयर में 14 पीरियड ही है.
Yeah.
ठीक है. एंड व्हाट लैरी कॉनर डिड ब्यूटीफुली, ही फिगर्ड आउट कि कहाँ पे मार्केट गिव्स यू अ वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी टू बाय नियर द बॉटम. आई एम नॉट सेइंग एग्जैक्ट बॉटम, नियर द बॉटम. अगर आप देखोगे यहाँ पे जब भी RSI 10 के नीचे जाती है, दैट इज मोर और लेस उसके नजदीक वो बॉटम बन जाता है. मोर और लेस उसके नजदीक वो बॉटम बन जाता है. मोर और लेस उसके 1-2 दिन या 3 दिन के बाद वो बॉटम ही रहता है. सो दैट इज, एंड यहाँ पे एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो मैंने ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ट्रेडिंग करके सीखा है, कि हम लोग की आदत है जब भी ग्रीन कैंडल होती है तभी बाय करते हैं. एंड आई एम श्योर जितने भी व्यूअर है उसमें से 95% ऑफ द व्यूअर्स, when I started out also, I used to do that, so I can vouch for that, is I will wait for the confirmation. Yes, for a green
Yes.
candle. Usually when you are doing a mean reversion, it is better to be going against the trend and actually buying when the candle is red. And that's the edge. And I can go on and maybe we can have a one different session on this. But I just wanted to, answer your question about what is this two period. It's nothing. But अगर हम लोग 14 दिन की RSI लेते तो it's a longer trend. But I'm looking for a very short term reversals in the market. तो इसीलिए मैंने 2 period RSI 2 दिन के जो मोमेंटम है उसके हिसाब से स्ट्रेटजी बनाई है.
Okay, so this is basically the same RSI that we use, only the 14 period changes to a 2-day.
हाँ, and your overbought and oversold level changes to 90-10 from 70-30.
Got it. Okay. Vishal, we have one question in the chat, and Edwin is asking, is this a 15-minute chart, or what chart are we seeing now?
This is a daily chart. This is a daily chart of Nifty.
Got it.
Okay, so mean diversion for bear trading. So this is the mandatory photo when you go to New York, right? I have been to New York Stock Exchange as well. and you can't miss the bull, right? So I was at the bull, and people hold the horn by the bull, like hold the bull by the horn.
Yeah.
लेकिन मैंने बोला भाई बुल के सामने कोई नहीं खड़ा रहता, तो आई वेंट बिहाइंड and grab the bull, right? So that's how you mean reversion bad trading क्या होता है, bull के सामने मत आओ, let the bull do its stuff, and when he's tired, that is the time you hit them hard. And usually मैंने ये strategy को back test किया, for some or the other reason it worked out only on the short side, it worked on the long side, लेकिन उसके जो drawdowns थे बहुत ज़्यादा लंबे थे. That's why I avoided trading it in the long side, but I only trade on the short side. And this is the edge of the system. Market में बहुत सारे लोग इंट्राडे में बुलिश होते हैं, यस और नो, क्योंकि कोई भी आदमी को पूछोगे तो वही क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, शू लेवानु, क्या लेने का. और वी नो कि 90% ऑफ द ट्रेडर लूज मनी. तो मतलब जो लोग ले रहे हैं वैसा नहीं बना रहे, तो कोई तो बेच रहा है उनको, तो अपने को सोचना है क्या बेचना है. ठीक है. और ये मेरा फेमस मैंने बुक भी पढ़ा था, रिच डैड पुअर डैड की. ऑल्दो आई एम नॉट as near as calling as rich, but yeah, he said that rich people sell stuff and poor people buy stuff. तो somewhere वो एक philosophy भी मैंने बताया आपको कि mind में बैठ गई. So this is how it is, and you can always argue back with me, and I'm completely open with that. कि Warren Buffett is always a buyer and is the third richest person in the world. But yes, I have to accept I'm not Warren Buffett. I have a different philosophy and psychology.
Also, I think one more factor that plays here is, downside normally is faster. Gravity plays a very important role. Yeah, fear is larger, than
Than the
greed.
greed.
When it strikes, we've seen it. So, yes.
That's so rightly said. That's so rightly said, Nainesh. So for that, so let's start with day trading RSI system. So I'm going to put out a system.
Sure.
Don't consider it as an holy grail. I want you to first of all understand that strategy. What are the components of this strategy, and do some trades. Okay, be comfortable with it. See, कोई भी चीज के लिए comfort is the most important thing. If you're going to do something which you are not comfortable with, there is a very high likely chances कि आप वो strategy थोड़े time loss होगा तो बंद कर दोगे. And I will try to give you a very good example of a trader called Tony Saliba, whom I also personally met. So अगर आप एक market wizard book में जाओगे, तो वहाँ पे सब legendary trader के मतलब नाम दिए हुए हैं, like Paul Tudor Jones, Michael Marcus, Edward Sicota, like best of the best traders who are generating like 30,000% return, 500% return on a large corpus, like amazing names. Last chapter is done by a guy called Tony Saliba, a very short and stout guy. And interestingly, उसके chapter का heading है one lot trader. Now, imagine, आगे के सब chapter में we are talking about billions and billions of dollars, managing, like tons and tons of money, giving exceptional return. And here this chapter comes and says कि boss, one lot trader. तो थोड़ा दिमाग हिल गया मेरा. So I was more curious to read what is this one lot trader. So Tony Saliba was called as a one lot trader in the pit because he traded one lot for his system for entire 1 year. Wow. ये बंदे ने भले पैसा था उसके पास, लेकिन he realized कि boss, I have a system, but I don't follow my system. So I need to be comfortable with my system, and I should know in and out about my system. I should know in and out about my system. And that's where he just traded one lot for the 1 year till he became comfortable with the trade. And that's what I was talking about. Sticking to a system has helped me to be a consistent trader. So I think so. इसको अगर आप implement करते हो तो stick for a year before making a decision कि भाई ये चल रही है नहीं चल रही है. Obviously, you will look at the drawdowns also. If you're not comfortable, don't trade it. So let's jump to the rules of the system. Conditions for the trade क्या होनी चाहिए? Simple सा है. जैसे हम लोग ने बताया था कि 90 के ऊपर ओवरबॉट हो जाती है तो वहां पे ट्रेड बहुत कम हो जाते हैं. तो हम लोग ने एक छोटा सा फिल्टर ले लिया कि 2 पीरियड RSI ग्रेटर देन 50. इसको आप इग्नोर भी कर सकते हो इफ यू वांट टू. यू कैन ओनली, बट ये फिगर को मत इग्नोर करना. टुडेज चेंज मतलब आज फ्राइडे है, Go back to your, Fisdom app, put it all the stocks, do a sorting, फिगर आउट कौन से स्टॉक आज 3% से ज्यादा बढ़े. SBI लाइफ बढ़ा है, टीवीएस मोटर बढ़ा है, बहुत सारे स्टॉक्स आज बढ़े हुए हैं, राइट. जो भी 3% से ज्यादा बढ़े हैं उसकी एक लिस्ट निकालो.
Okay.
फिर करना क्या है हमको, नेक्स्ट दिन जाके हमको मतलब उनके क्लोजिंग प्राइसेस लिख लिए हम लोग ने. से 100 रुपीज वॉज द प्राइस ऑफ द स्टॉक, वो 96 पे चल रहा था. टुडे फॉर द इजी कैलकुलेशन पर्पस इट क्लोज एट 100 रुपीज.
Okay.
मैं मंडे को क्या करूंगा, मैं मंडे को 101 पे ये स्टॉक को बेचने के लिए रख दूंगा. कितनी क्वांटिटी, कितनी पोजीशन साइज, वी विल टॉक इन द सेकंड स्लाइड, बट हियर वी आर जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द सिस्टम राइट नाउ. सो मैं क्या करूंगा, आई विल शॉर्ट एट 1% लिमिट नेक्स्ट डे. मतलब 100 रुपीज की जगह पे अगर क्लोज हुआ था कल, तो मैं 101 पे बेचने के लिए रख दूंगा. नाउ देयर आर लॉट ऑफ इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन वुड कम अप. सर प्री ओपन में डालना चाहिए कि मार्केट खुलने के बाद डालना चाहिए. देयर विल बी अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट विल कम कि अगर मैंने तो 101 पे डाला लेकिन कोई अच्छी न्यूज आ गई और स्टॉक 110 खुला तो क्या. So these are the nuances that you will go through when you will start trading up. जैसे जैसे वो ट्रेडिंग करते रहोगे, you will go through that nuances. So just to answer those two questions earlier, I put my trades on pre-open.
Okay.
If the market opens at 110, even if I put a bid at 101 at the pre-open, अगर वो 110 का official closing हुआ, I will get a fill at 110.
Yeah.
अगर आपको बहुत ज्यादा लग रहा है कि 110 बहुत ज्यादा हो गया, तो वेट फॉर 3 मिनट्स और 1 मिनट एंड देन सेल इफ इट इज स्टिल अबव 101. ठीक है. सो यू गॉट द कॉन्सेप्ट वेरी क्लियर. कभी बेचना है
Yeah, 1% above the previous close.
प्रीवियस क्लोज, यस, ऑन द प्रीवियस क्लोज. एग्जिट क्या करना है, 325 315 टाइम बेस्ड स्टॉप लॉस. मतलब यूजुअली तो अभी सब ब्रोकर्स अपना MI स्क्वायर ऑफ कर लेते हैं, लेकिन अभी तो लिवरेज भी चला गया है.
Yeah.
तो यू कैन डू MIS ले लो या NRML ले लो, जो भी ले लो. इट यू कैन क्लोज इट एट 325 315 वॉट एवर इज कंफर्टेबल फॉर यू, क्योंकि लास्ट आधे घंटे में बहुत सारी वॉलेटिलिटी होती है. मैक्सिमम अगर कोई स्टॉक में 20 स्टॉक आ गए, समझ लो उस दिन बुल मार्केट था, ओके, नॉट लाइक टुडे बट से लाइक यस्टरडे. If you would have taken yesterday's or आज trade किया तो it would have given you phenomenal money, right? Because yesterday was a complete bull market. You would have got 20 stocks which moved up greater than 3%. Correct. Now the question is कि कहीं ना कहीं तो अपनी लिमिट करनी है अपने को. तो maximum that we will take 10 stocks. Now how do I define these 10 stocks? Based on their ROC. कि कल सबसे ज्यादा जो बढ़ा है, ओके, कल सबसे ज्यादा जो बढ़ा है उसकी हाईएस्ट रैंकिंग, कोई 11% से बढ़ा है, कोई 10% से बढ़ा है, कोई 5% से बढ़ा है. सो यू पुट देम इनटू अ डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर. जो हाईएस्ट बढ़ा है उसका मीन रिवर्जन का चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, क्योंकि अगर आप देखोगे तो जब भी चार्ट पे ब्रेकआउट होता है, बड़ा सा ब्रेकआउट होता है, और जिस दिन आप चढ़ते हो उस दिन वो नीचे आ जाता है. कितनी बार हुआ है नैनेश के तूने खरीदा है, नीचे गया और बीजी बेचा और मार्केट ऊपर गया है.
Lot of times, especially for trending traders, this is one big issue. I mean, the day we decide that the trend has now given a signal that it is a breakout is the day you lose the most. So yeah.
Yes. So that is why, because जब भी बड़ा ब्रेकआउट होता है सब ट्रेडर तो घुस गए, तो कोई तो बड़े लोग हैं जो उनको सप्लाई दे रहे हैं, राइट. सो मैक्सिमम यू कैन टेक 10 positions and sell them. Now what you should put 3% from entry. Now a question would come to you mind कि ये तो curve fitted strategy लग रहा है. Why 3%? Why not 4%? Why not 5%? Why not 1%? That's a very genuine question that you would have it. So मतलब मुझे ये PPT को और complicated नहीं करना था, but just to give you a concept of what we use, called as maximum adverse excursion. Okay? मैं कुछ भारी टर्म यूज कर रहा हूँ, पर सिंप्लिसिटी में वही बोलूंगा कि हम लोग ने हमारे सब ट्रेड ले लिए हिस्ट्री के 2011 से, जब भी हम लोग ने बैक टेस्टिंग चालू किया, ओके, और 2019 तक हम लोग ने बैक टेस्टिंग किया था, देन वी वेंट लाइव. वहां पे हम लोग ने देखा कि ऑन एन एवरेज अगर मैं कोई स्टॉक बेचता हूँ बेस्ड ऑन दिस कंडीशन और शाम को मैं कवर करता हूँ और वो प्रॉफिटेबल ट्रेड रहा, ठीक है,
Okay.
बट ऑन एन एवरेज वो मेरी अगेंस्ट कितना गया है बिफोर इट बिकेम अ प्रॉफिटेबल.
Yeah.
सो दैट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज मैक्सिमम एडवर्स एक्सकर्शन. मेरे
Okay.
एडवर्स कितना गया और फिर मेरे को प्रॉफिटेबल ट्रेड दिया. तो मोटा
Correct.
मोटी मेरे बेचने के बाद आप समझ के चलो वो 2%, 2.5%, 3% भी ऊपर जाता है. तो मतलब मेंटली आई एम प्रिपेयर्ड कि भाई मेरे बेचने, बिकॉज यू आर सेलिंग अगेंस्ट द ट्रेंड
Yes.
एंड दैट्स योर एज, राइट. सिमिलरली
In
व्हाट इज माय टारगेट?
that case,
टारगेट.
Vishal, why don't we use a 2% or a 3% instead of selling it at 1% from previous close?
सॉरी, कम अगेन.
Instead of selling at 1% from the previous close, like 100 closing, we sell at 101.
I got
In
your
case
point,
we have
right? Why
seen
not
the,
2%?
yeah,
Yeah. So you will miss out lot of trades.
okay.
See, usually market जब भी गैप अप होता है ना, तो
हाँ,
1% तक तो गैप अप ठीक है, लेकिन 2-3 के ऊपर खुलना चालू हो जाता है, and then your number of trades reduces. So
okay,
as a mean diversion trader, you want to diversify yourself as much as possible.
okay,
So अगर तू 2% पे डाल रहे हो और 10 स्टॉक में से 6 या 7 स्टॉक खाली 1.5% खुला और नीचे आ गए, बाकी
miss
तेरे खाली
opportunity.
3 ही हुए और उसमें से भी 2 ही ऊपर चले गए, स्टॉप लॉस चले गए, तो योर
Correct.
probability will not in be your favor. But it was a very good question, but that's our experience. Okay.
Okay,
Similarly, target for us is 6% from the entry price. मतलब हम लोग ने 101 में बेचा है तो उसका 6% निकाल दो. That's my target price. Now the question again comes in 6% ही क्यों? Why not 5%, 4%, 3%? मैंने पहले भी बताया था, ये मैंने आपको एक फ्रेमवर्क दे रहा हूँ. आई वॉन्ट यू टू बिल्ड ऑन इट. पर हम लोग ने 6% जो मैक्सिमम एडवर्स एक्सकर्शन का कॉन्सेप्ट लिया था स्टॉप लॉस के लिए, वैसे ही हम लोग ने कॉन्सेप्ट लिया मैक्सिमम फेवरेबल एक्सकर्शन.
okay,
व्हाट डज इट मीन? और एवरेज मैक्सिमम मिनिमम एडवर्स एक्सकर्शन, फेवरेबल एक्सकर्शन, एमएफई, सॉरी माय बैड.
yeah,
तो उसमें क्या होता है कि बेसिकली प्रॉफिटेबल ट्रेड बनने के बाद, ठीक है, वो जो मैं प्रॉफिटेबल ट्रेड किया था, समझ ले मैंने 100 रुपए में 101 में कुछ बेचा, वो
okay,
90 तक गया, but it at the end of the day close at say 100, not 100, say 97, or maybe from 101 it went to 90 and close at 97. So 90 was a big movement, 10% movement almost, ठीक है.
correct,
So मैंने जो जितने भी विनिंग ट्रेड है उसकी फेवरेबल एक्सकर्शन देखी कि वो कितना जा रहा है और बाद में रिवर्ट हो रहा है. So we figured out 6% was a good number where we can book a profit. You can change the stop losses, you can change your target prices. This is up to you. I'm just giving you a platform to build on top of that. So we will now quickly go through what are the components to understand why and why are they are there और उनका usage क्या है. पहला, relative strength. कि relative strength is used to capture short term overbought and oversold condition, right? हम लोग ने
yeah,
देखा. So जब भी 2 पीरियड RSI greater than 50 होती है तो number of stocks that I get it is much higher, क्योंकि हम लोग का FNO स्टॉक है. You with me? और FNO
yeah,
स्टॉक में 200 स्टॉक है. I don't do it on the other mid cap और micro cap, क्योंकि 2 रीजन है. एक तो लिक्विडिटी, सेकेंडली वहां पे सर्किट्स होती है.
correct.
अगर मैं कोई मिड कैप स्टॉक शॉर्ट कर दिया बेस्ड ऑन दिस कंडीशन और मार्केट में अपर सर्किट और स्टॉक में अपर सर्किट लग गई, देन आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू कवर माय पोजीशन. Whereas in futures and option there are no circuits. So even if the trade goes against me and it skips my stop losses, at least I will get an opportunity to buy back my position.
I agree.
Okay, similarly 2 period RSI less than, हम लोग ने करेक्शन की बात की. Today's close greater than 3% from yesterday's close is very important to me, क्योंकि it is defining by larger than expected move. मतलब 1-2% तक ठीक है, लेकिन अगर 3% से ज्यादा हो गया तो एक बड़ा सा कैंडल दिखेगा आपको. और हर बार वो कैंडल, बड़ा कैंडल के बाद क्या होता है, शाम को हम लोग एनालिसिस करते हैं, हम लोग अपने सपोर्ट रेजिस्टेंस ड्रॉ करते हैं एंड वी फिगर्ड आउट कि दिस इज लाइक अ गुड ब्रेकआउट, लेट्स बाय टुमारो. मॉर्निंग में गैप अप होता है, वी बाय इट एंड व्हाट हैपेंस टू द प्राइसेस, नीचे आना चालू हो जाता है. So let's take an example. Okay, rather than talking about it, let's take an example. Let's take GNFC close at 758 one of the day. Okay.
Okay,
Next day it closed at 816. 2
okay,
period RSI greater than 50 and it was more than 3% का movement. right, on this particular day. So next day मुझे क्या करना है?
1% above
इसका
sell.
क्लोजिंग के हिसाब से 1% ऊपर बेचने के लिए रख देना. दिस इज व्हाट वी डिड.
Wow.
वी क्लोज एट 816. उसका 1% हम लोग ने डाल दिया था 825. जैसे ही वो ट्रिगर हो गया उसके ऊपर ही खुला था. व्हाट वाज माय स्टॉप लॉस? 3% from the entry and target 6%, 775.50. We booked our profit and moved out of the stock. Let's take another example. Day one, what happened to the stock? This is just for the context. This is just for the
Yeah.
context. This is more कि आज का closing is greater than 3% from
Yeah.
the yesterday's closing. Yes or no?
Yes.
And now RSI greater than 50 थी वो टाइम पे. Now what will I do? 1% up बेचने के लिए रख दूंगा. So this is a prime example. So जैसे ही वो 1% ऊपर खुला और हमारा it had a major gap up. Okay,
Yeah.
we got a feel at 113 rather than just selling at 106 का जो भी 1% होता था यहाँ पे बेचने, क्योंकि it was a pre open में ही इतना मिल गया अपने को. Okay, it gapped up. We sold at 113.4. Stop loss 116.8. What should be my target price? 106.60.
Wow.
Another example. So I just wanted to show you some examples so you get the context very clear. कि आज का क्लोजिंग था फ्राइडे का, अज्यूमिंग फॉर अपोलो हॉस्पिटल. आज का क्लोजिंग बहुत अच्छा था. बिग ग्रीन कैंडल. सब टेक्निकल एनालिस्ट का ब्रेकआउट होगा. सब लोग ने क्या किया, यहाँ पे बाय कर, नेक्स्ट डे जैसे ही खुला गैप अप बाय करना चालू कर दिया. व्हाट हैपेंड टू द प्राइसेस? एंट्री हुई 5163 पे. जैसे एंट्री हुई 3% का स्टॉप लॉस डाल दिया. टारगेट 4853. टारगेट अचीव्ड. और जो लॉन्ग करके बैठे उनका 6% का पोर्टफोलियो स्टॉक सीधा धुल गया. डज इट ऑलवेज वर्क? द आंसर इज नो. The accuracy of the system, I think I remember, was around 50-55%, right? So now if you see this, market moved up by 3%, and this is a failed example of PVR. यहाँ पे हम लोग ने शॉर्ट किया, जस्ट हमारा स्टॉप लॉस ट्रिगर हुआ. और कई बार हम लोग को ये होता है कि मेरा स्टॉप लॉस ट्रिगर करके ही नीचे आ गया. हमारे साथ तो रेगुलरली होता है वो, ठीक है. So our stop loss got triggered. We are out of the market, even though the market again fell down. That's completely okay for us. Okay, this is the performance of the strategy. Okay, if we started backtesting it from the trading 2011, this is the equity curve. And especially when you are trading this, because you have to keep a trap on brokerages at TTO, so we have added 0.12% of the brokerage and slippages. And as you can see, the winning, as I told you, the winning days is 55% of the time. Losing days is 45% of the time. When you win, it is 6,000 rupees you make. When you lose about 5,000 rupees. Average yearly, kind of return you can make on a 10 lakh amount is about, 25. पहले leverage था, अभी leverage थोड़ा कम होना चालू हुआ है. But the beauty about it, it had a maximum winning streak of 15 and maximum losing streak of 8. In Kalmar, what we call as a return divided by the average, drawdown, the maximum drawdown for every year, we divide it by to get a Kalmar of this. But I wanted to put a point because the brokerage and slippages are so important for this strategy. So Nainesh, we do have Fisdom, very different and very unique plan. Maybe you want to say something about that. I will be also curious to know.
Absolutely. So Vishal, here I wanted to talk, if 0.12% of your entire, transaction goes to the brokerage and slippages, at Fisdom, we have something called as a freedom plan. Now, this freedom plan is is a very interesting subscription plan that our users can subscribe to. With a flat subscription fee, they can actually benefit from no brokerages. So we give them stock plus reports, we give them virtual dealer support, and we do not charge brokerage for a period of time. So for traders who want to trade systems like this, it would be a very interesting fact that you have a flat charge or a subscription that you would pay, and most of your brokerage or the slippage that you have in your trading systems would be taken care of with that.
Sure. So obviously, I'm sure brokerage would be taken care of. Slippage is still part of the system, but yes, I think so. The major chunk that goes to the brokerage can be definitely saved upon, which is good. Thanks for that. Now, this is what we have been done about the yearly and the monthly breakdowns. As you can see, this is the month wise and the year wise performance of the strategy. Now, this is very important. Okay, there is reduce the losses because we had such a large losses on certain of the months, which is like mind mein बैठ नहीं जाता. If you
Hmm.
can see, this 35,000 was the loss, 36,000 was the loss. These are
Yeah.
large numbers, at least from a 60,000 loss, 51,000 loss, that are unbearable. Although the strategy has been given a fantastic return, but when you don't put a stop loss and the risk management that you don't keep it tight, you know what happens, right? So that's
Right.
what we implemented a stop loss at a portfolio level.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? Okay, if I have a portfolio value of 10 lakh, if I'm going to buy 10 stocks, that is one stock will be 1 lakh each.
Okay.
But if I shorted all the stock or maybe two stock or three stock or a five stock, जिस दिन मेरा 10,000 का लॉस, if I hit 10,000 M2M stop loss, okay,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
1% of my portfolio value, I will square
Okay.
off everything. That means that day is not for me. That day may be a super trending day, and you
Okay.
really don't want to be on that particular day, standing against the market. You just want to accept that I'm wrong because you're shorting the market, and we know the market tend to go up much faster. So we just want to book our losses and get out of the market. सो हम लोग ने बहुत सारे पोर्टफोलियो स्टॉप लॉसेस के वेरिएशंस रन किए. जैसे कि अगर मेरा प्रॉफिट 20,000 आता है और मेरा लॉस, बिकॉज आई वांटेड टू बी अ वेरी कंजर्वेटिव ट्रेडर, मेरा 5,000 का लॉस हो गया तो मैंने बुक कर लिया. पर
Okay.
मेरा प्रॉफिट में जो बोलते हैं ना 1:4 रिस्क टू रिवॉर्ड रेशियो,
Yeah.
जिस दिन मेरा 20,000 का प्रॉफिट हो गया M2M, आई विल बुक इट. और मेरा 5,000 का M2M लॉस हो गया तो आई विल बुक इट. So what happens is your kind of profit mates are little less. Your
Yeah.
drawdown goes down drastically down from like whatever 1 lakh 3 lakh, it goes down to 92,000, which is on the Kalmar of 2.76 and annualized about 25-30%. What we did was also, okay, 1:1. अगर 10,000 का प्रॉफिट हुआ या 10,000 का लॉस हुआ, जो भी है, I will book out. Nothing
Okay.
much major difference happens, because then it is up to you how you want to play with this strategy. So what we did was, with 5,000 stop loss and a 20,000 profit, how my equity curve looked like. So this is how the equity curve over a period of time kind of plays out. Obviously, अगर आप कुछ रिस्क ले रहे हो तो रिटर्न भी वैसे ही होगा. मतलब आप कम रिस्क ले रहे हो तो आपकी
Yeah.
इक्विटी कर्व भी, if you see this, it is more flattish because you are booking your losses much faster, and
Yeah.
you will have many many days where you will be just booking out your days and then getting out of the day, क्योंकि आपने लॉस अमाउंट बहुत छोटा रखा है फॉर मार्केट टू गिव यू एनीथिंग बैक.
Right.
सिमिलरली हम लोग ने 10,000 और 10,000 के स्टॉप लॉस के साथ रखा हुआ है. सो दिस इज वेयर आई फील इज अ स्वीट स्पॉट. 10,000 का प्रॉफिट, 10,000 का टारगेट, एंड द इक्विटी स्टेडीली इंक्रीजिंगली, नॉट लाइक द 20 वाला, क्योंकि
Hmm.
5,000 लॉस इज अ टू टाइटर ऑफ अ स्टॉप लॉस फॉर अस टू डू एनीथिंग.
Yes.
So this is the summary. We learned about how to go about making a strategy observation. जैसे हम लोग ने देखा कि breakout fails होते हैं
Yeah.
तो उनमें क्या characteristic थी, and then build a strategy around it. How to assess the risk in the strategy. We talked about the portfolio stop loss, portfolio targets. What factors are important while forming a strategy? Mean reversion करना है कि trend following करना है? And what to expect from a strategy before the jumping? What should be the return that you should expect from the market? So yeah, that's it from my end. Manish, if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Sure. So Vishal, I think it's a very, very interesting setup. We had a few questions in our chat, and I think most of them you've answered already. Someone asked how much should be your stop loss. I think you've covered that. Let me also tell you that most of the sessions that we do with you, the live, they are very, very interesting, knowledgeable. I personally take back a lot, put it in my trading, and I'm actually seeing a difference in what I am becoming as a trader. So this is an announcement for everyone who's following our YouTube channel. We are very, very excited to talk to Vishal, get learnings from him, learn his trading strategies, become super traders like him. So hence we are taking this initiative as Fisdom. We are announcing a new show. So besides FYI, we announce a new show. It's going to be called Trade Talk with Vishal Mehta, and we are going to do this every after you've made all your profits, little losses, you're going to come chat with Vishal, talk about anything that you want to become a better trader. You can ask him questions about your strategy, maybe why it failed, what you should do to make it better. And to top it all, Vishal is going to talk about a new strategy or something new for us traders to learn. Vishal, very excited to have this show with you.
Same here, same here. And the viewers, I just wanted to say this out. Nainesh has just, very good news. He's going to be become father. So congratulations, Nainesh. And I really want everyone to just congratulate him for the great news.
Thank you, Vishal. So, Vishal, let me take a few questions from the crowd. We've got some questions. Sagar's asking a question. Will this setup that you explained to us, work in commodities and currencies as well?
No, we haven't backtested that, Sagar. It's a good question, but unfortunately, we don't think it will work because stocks have an inherent nature of a mean reversion. We haven't talked about the commodity and currency. Usually, my assumption about commodity is more trend following. So you have to decide your strategy based on the asset class also. And honest answer to your question is we haven't backtested it because we are doing well with the equity, so we haven't, got a reason to do something else.
So I think, Sagar, that was quite a clear answer. You will have to be very selective, work stock specific. It will not work on commodities and currency per se. Also, Vishal, any before we kind of leave you with the show, can you tell us, maybe three mindful things that people have to keep in mind when they follow strategies like this?
Risk management, and risk management. I think so. That's the most important thing because when you're doing an intraday trading strategy, the only thing that can destroy you or your capital, obviously they cannot destroy you, but yeah, it can be detrimental to your capital, is the risk management because greed and fear, मुझे भी आता है, सबको आता है. It's just that how you control them. Until date, also I struggle a lot with my, psychology and risk management. I'll be very honest. क्योंकि मार्केट हर रोज नया कुछ सिखाता है. So we keep on bumping on that and then learn new things.
So I'll take one question from the audience. How much is a decent amount, that you need to have that to start this kind of a strategy?
So I think so anything between 35% to 40% is a decent strategy. Although historically the return of this strategy has gone down. To be honest, 25% to 28%. The reason being earlier there was a margin environment, but now you have to think in some different way. What is the use of that strategy? Agar I keep giving this example all the time. Okay, do you want all Virendra Sehwag in your teams who can come and hit the market, hit the ball, every ball? Answer is no. You want to have a balanced team. You want to have Sachin, you have to have Virendra Sehwag, you want to have Mohammad Kaif, you have to have a Yuvraj Kaif, and you have to have a Dravid. So depending on your team selection, because nothing is going to work all the time. So the point is, and there is a famous saying, nothing is going to work all the time and everything is going to work at some point of the time, right? So if you combine them together and make a different set of strategies, although this strategy may not give you a fantastic return per se, but my point here to you is if you have a Virendra Sehwag who got out early and this came to the rescue, your drawdown was less, and when the market started giving money, you came back. And that is the precise point a lot of traders miss out on. A lot of traders kind of jump the system because they are in drawdown. They think the strategy is not working. लेकिन अगर मेरी एक स्ट्रेटेजी परफॉर्म कर रही है और दूसरी अभी नहीं कर रही है पर मेरा इक्विटी में तो पैसा बन रहा है, so I'll still be holding on to that other strategy which is not making money, and there will be a time sorry, when this strategy will stop performing and this will start performing.
So one question here, Vishal, I think the person asked was, how much capital do you require to do such a strategy? I think that was the question. How much capital will one require at minimum to do these kind of strategies?
So minimum, I would suggest 5 lakh. Optimal is 10 lakh.
Got it, got it. So minimum you start off, you can do this with 5 lakhs. Also, the right or the sweet capital here would be 10 lakhs. And the calculation that we saw, what Vishal showed us, were all on the basis of a 10 lakh calculation. The last question before we wind is, what is the best time to start intraday in a day? Should you start at 9:15 or 10 o'clock?
See, it's a brilliant question. Again, you will never get a straight answer from me. That's the problem, because there is no straight answer. Again, I will go back to the Yuvraj and Dravidwala example. Okay. If you are a trader who can handle the volatility, and the return will pay off, then you should start trading between 9:15 to 10 o'clock and stop your trading at 10 o'clock and start back again at 2:30 to 3:30. Because if you take the market direction, the maximum volatility is there for the first 45 minutes and the last 1 hour. So as an intraday trader, you would want to play in those time frames. But again, if you are someone who are looking for a large position sizing, you want to build a large position, large book on it, then 10 o'clock onward started building your position will be much easier, because there is less volatility. You can scale up your book very fast. So then you kind of scale up your position between 10 to 2:30, and when the move comes in, you start playing that move.
I hope, Yugandhar, that answered your question. Vishal, I'd like to thank you so much for being here and imparting knowledge to everyone here and all the followers that we have on our Fisdom YouTube channel. I am very excited to meet you again on 25th of August, the next expiry, and learn something new from you, as well as interact with you on all the mistakes I made during the month in trading. Thank you so much, Vishal, for being there. Looking forward to more.
Same here, Nainesh, and thank you everyone for hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.